In lecture number 4, unit 11, P block elements, 11.2 in your NCERT textbook, important trends and anomalous properties of boron. Now, important trends means what? When we go, or say when we just observe in a periodic table 13 group at that time, top to bottom, just which type of properties are variation takes place, or which type of variation takes place in particular chemical properties, that you have to learn it here. And anomalous properties of boron means what? How this boron is different from different elements of the same group, 13 group. Okay, and that is known as anomalous properties. So here it is written that certain important trends can be observed in the chemical behavior of group 13 elements. The trichloride, tribromide and halides. Okay, trichlorides, bromides and halides, they are covalent in nature. That means what? They sharing their electrons from outermost orbital. Suppose we consider here BF3. So just to say BF3 is there, therefore boron Z is equal to 5. If we write electronic configuration He, 2s2 to px1 to py0 and to pz0. So here this 2s orbital give electrons to py, and that's why one electron is there. Now how many fluorine is there? 3 fluorine. Therefore in 2s orbital to px, to py, to pz, here one electron from boron and another electron from fluorine here donated, and they become hybridized and equi-energetic. That word you have to learn in chemical bonding. So it become here one s orbital and 2 p orbital here are used, and that's why sp2 hybridization takes place. But BF3 is converted to BF4 minus, and that's why suppose F minus is there. So F minus is donated their electrons in 2pz, and that's why we can say that sp3 hybridization in BF4 minus ion. So this is a very important point you have to learn it here, and that's why we can say that here covalent in nature. This is known as covalent because sharing of electron from outermost orbital with respect to boron and fluorine. Okay, so this is considered as, this is the He code. Remember, electronic configuration, if you know, then it becomes very easy to identify what is hybridization, which bond is present. Okay, that thing you have to learn it here. Just to see, species like tetrahedral MOOH4 minus and octahedral MH2O6 3 plus, except in boron, exist in aqueous medium. Remember that here octahedral MH2O6 3 plus is not possible for boron, because here in boron d orbital is not available in electronic configuration. Just you see, 1s2, 2s2, then we can say that 2p1, then 3s, then 3p, and then 3d. And that's why we can say that here 3d orbital is not available, and that's why this type of formation not take part, or say take place. And another reaction which is a very important, you learn in a Lewis acid and Lewis base. Here this BF3 is considered as monomeric trifluoride, which is known as Lewis acid, and this NH3 containing here lone pair of electron, that's why it is known as Lewis base. So here boron is acceptor of electrons and NH3 nitrogen is donor of the electrons, and due to that nitrogen donated electrons towards the boron, and that's why here coordinate covalent bond is formed, and this shape is, you already learned trigonal planar, but when it is attached with, or say bonded with NH3, and at that time this shape is tetrahedral. So here property is changed. So this is known as chemical traits. Okay, so this you have to learn in a Lewis acid and Lewis base. Lewis acid is this and Lewis base is this. Lewis acid deficient of electrons, and Lewis base we consider enriched of electron. Okay, and that's why this type of bond is formed. That is nothing but coordinate covalent bond. Okay, now see, it is due to the absence of d orbital that the maximum covalent of boron is 4. Maximum covalent of boron is 4. You have to consider not 6 but 4 because d orbital is not available. Do you remember this one? When coordination number is less, at that time you have to observe this thing that there is a absence of d orbital. In carbon also absence of d orbital. In nitrogen also absence of d orbital. In fluorine also absence of d orbital. But we consider aluminium. So aluminium contain d orbital because as you see, electronic configuration of aluminium is AlZ is equal to 13. Here if you write NeCl 3H2, then 3P1. Now see here 3D and then 4S. Just you see. And that's why it is the nearest. And that's why electron donated in d orbital and s orbital also. According to above principle, first of electron enter in a 4s and then enter in a 3D. Those are donated by different, we can say that, ions. And that's why here, suppose consider molecule also. Suppose here 6H2O is there, at a time hybridization is changed, and that is nothing but sp3d2. That you to observe later on, but don't bother about this. This aluminum Z is equal to 13 Ne, and due to that here 3d orbital is nearest, and that's why d orbital is available. So d orbitals are available with aluminium and other elements. The maximum covalence can be expected beyond 4. Okay, so maximum can be expected beyond 4. We can say that if d orbital is available, then coordination number is, what is meaning of covalency? Covalency means how many, suppose aluminum is there bonded with how many atoms. So consider here AlCl3 is there, but AlCl3 is not in a free form. You know that catalyst is there, but dimerase is there. When we take 2 moles of AlCl3, then halogen bridging Al2Cl6 is observed. That you learn it here also. Aluminum is here, aluminium is here, then here Cn, then here we have to write Cn, then we have to write here Cl, here Cn, here Cl, and here Cl. So here this type of tetrahedral structure is observed, but it is just like bridge. Just you see, aluminum is there, but bonded with chlorine with the help of lone pair of electron, which is donated towards aluminum, and that's why this bond is considered as coordinate covalent bond. This bond is considered as coordinate covalent bond, and that's why AlCl3 and AlCl3, this AlCl3 and this AlCl3, they just give this type of structure, which you already learned, okay, in chemical properties. But here you have to write it up to this, and this is known as important traits and anomalous properties of boron. So write it completely, write certain electronic configuration, and from that you just write answer. So take a screenshot. Okay, now here next topic in your NCERT textbook, topic number 11.3, some important compounds of boron. So this is a very important part. So here you have to learn one important just chemicals or say compounds of boron, and 11.3.1, that is borax. Okay, so this borax is a very important compound of boron, white crystalline solid. Remember, it's a white crystalline solid. Okay, it's a white crystalline solid. Formula is Na2B4O7.10H2O, decahydride. Na2B4O7.10H2O. This is the formula of borax. Okay, it contains the tetranuclear units. That means what here? B4O5OH4 2 minus. This complex is there. Correct formula is Na2B4O5OH4.H2O. So which is the correct formula of borax according to tetranuclear units? So this is the formula. You have to remember it. Maybe ask in your, we can say that, the competitive exam. So it's a very important. Borax, when we dissolve in water, it gives an alkali or say alkaline solution, basic solution. That means what? Na2B4O7 plus 7H2O. It gives 2 moles of sodium hydroxide and 4 moles of orthoboric acid. This is known as orthoboric acid. And structure of this orthoboric acid is very simple, just like this way. OH, OH, and another we write this O and here H. This is a structure of orthoboric acid. Here this orthoboric acid, acidic character is +1. Okay, here no any acidic character is there. This hydrogen is not removed very easily because this boron is attached with this, and that's why it's a weak acid. Consider this a weak acid because this oxygen hydrogen bond cannot break very easily, and that's why H plus is not dissociated. That's why it's considered as weak acid. We discuss this particular topic in orthoboric acid. Okay, which is the next one. Na2P4O7 don't attain H2O when we heat. That means when we apply heating, or say when we heat, at that time 10 moles of water molecule is completely removed. So we get Na2B4O7 anhydrous borax. Okay, delta means what? Once again if we heat, okay, it becomes swallows. Suppose you take platinum wire and this, suppose you take this borax powder and you heat on a Bunsen burner. Flame is a blue flame which is called oxidizing flame. At that time this borax powder is swallows and just become crystalline is there, and due to that you have to make a loop on a platinum wire. Okay, and in platinum wire if you dip in a borax powder and then you heat it once again, it gives sodium metaborate and boric anhydride. So this is a sodium metaborate which is a swallows part and which produces one bead which is called borax bead. Okay, and that's why here in inorganic qualitative analysis, in practical, one test is very important for coloring compound, that is nothing but borax bead test. Remember, borax bead test. So in this test, very simple, nothing you have to perform, just you have to perform very simple way. You have to take platinum wire, make a loop. Okay, you have to make a loop, and then we have to heat it, because first of all remove all the impurities which is present on a platinum wire, and then you have to dip in a borax powder. You have to take watch glass, in that you have to take borax powder, and then once again you have to heat it. Okay, and this if you heat up to which one, transparent bead is obtained. Okay, at that time we can say that transparent and glitters, just like we can say that glitters are there, and due to that this type of bead is known as borax bead. Okay, this borax bead we have to dip in a whatever the given unknown inorganic substance, we have to dip in that, and then once again we have to heat. So here suppose cobalt is there, so here cobalt gives bead, red colored bead. Okay, and that's why it is a bead of cobalt oxide, because this oxygen is here reacts, and that's why it is considered as borax bead test. Remember, this is a borax bead test. It is a very important for coloring compound. Those are colorless, it is not important for that. Those containing colors, it is a very important. Suppose Cu plus 2 is there, this Cu plus 2 is very important. Okay, blue color, we can say that blue colored bead is obtained in a, we can say that oxidizing flame as well as in a reducing flame. Which type of we can say that bead color is there, that you have to see, and from that data you have to detect that which particular ion is present. Suppose red colored bead is there, according to your NCERT textbook at that time cobalt oxide is there, and that's why it is considered as red colored cobalt oxide, and that's why this borax bead test is considered in that we conclude that here Co plus 2 may be present. Okay, and that's why we detect many things at here. Nickel is also there, nickel is green colored. Okay, and copper is also green colored. Another is cobalt is we can say red color. So this type of coloring solutions or say coloring substance are there. It is only for solid substance. Remember, not solution. Solid substance, and we detect directly. So here dry test is a very important for positive ion. So that you have to perform in standard 12. Okay, but just you see, this is known as borax bead test, and it is a very important test to detect cations in inorganic chemistry. okay, or say inorganic qualitative analysis of a known solid substance or solid materials in which particular positive ion is present, and that is nothing but Borax-Wade test. It is a very simple test, okay. You have to perform in a lab, and just you observe certain colored bead, and from that you have to write your inference. That means test, observation and inference. According to that you have to perform, and that is nothing but Borax-Wade test. So this is all about Borax-Wade test, or say borax, and here simple formula is there. You have to remember the formula. Na2P4O7.10H2O. This is the formula of borax. You remember this? It is a very important, and it is a detection of cations or positive ions. Cations or positive ions in solid substance. X, for example, CuSO4, NiCl2. So here Cu plus 2 is there, here Ni plus 2 is there. Suppose cobalt chloride is there, then Co plus 2 is there. So write it completely and make a print screenshot. Yes, one important message here. Blue colored COBO2 twice is obtained. Actually, red colored of cobalt substance is there, and here we obtain. Just you see, when borax heated bundle with COO on a loop of platinum wire, a blue colored COBO2 twice bead is obtained. That means last result is blue color. Remember here, blue color. This you do not remember, but it is given in your data analysis, so it becomes very easy for you. So blue colored bead is obtained. Blue colored bead is obtained. So this correction, just to correct it, because it's a correct, and blue colored bead is obtained because cobalt is a red color and red colored bead is not obtained, but here blue colored bead is obtained due to attachment of this borate. Okay, so this is a cobalt borate, metaborate, cobalt metaborate. Suppose NaBO2 is there, it is considered as sodium metaborate, and that's why we consider here COBO2 twice, which is known as blue colored bead. Correction it. Okay. Okay, now here last topic of this lecture, number 4, some important compounds of boron. 11.3.2 orthoboric acid. Orthoboric acid. Formula is H3BO3. Remember the formula, and this is a structure formula, just we see later on. It is a white crystalline solid with soapy touch, just like sticky, soapy touch. Okay, it is sparingly soluble in water, but highly soluble when you in a hot water. That means if you take boric acid and if you heat it in a pot of water in a beaker, at a time it is soluble in a hot water. This preparation Na2P4O7, which is acidified or in presence of water molecule, it gives 2 moles of sodium chloride, and this is known as BOH thrice is nothing but boric acid, orthoboric acid. Just see this reaction. Twice Na and here twice Cl is there, so twice NaCl and 2H2O is there. That's why this you see, you have to take this boron here B, okay, and here OH thrice is there. So you have to balance this, and from that twice HCl plus twice H2O, twice NaCl plus BOH OH thrice, and here we can say that 4 BOH thrice is there. In NCERT textbook it is written, but just you see 4B is there, here O7 and here 2. So 7 plus 2, that is 9 total. Just you see 7, and here 2 is there, so 9 is there. So here just you see 4 3s are 12 is there. You have to balance with respect to, we can say that oxygen and hydrogen here. Twice NaCl is there, and here B4, you have to remember this formula, Na2B4O7 plus with this reaction 2 moles of hydrochloric acid plus 2 moles of water molecule. It gives twice NaCl plus 4 BOOH thrice. So here oxygen is 12 and here 2 plus 7 is there. That's why 2 plus 7 is just 9. So you have to write here instead of 2H2O you have to write 3, and that's why it is a balance. Okay, just you see in NCERT textbook it's written as 5H2O is there. Okay, so just you write here 5H2O, and that's why your mistake is there. So 5 plus 7 12. Okay, this is the correct formula. Try to remember it by just you have to remember it. Na2B4O7 plus 2 moles of HCl plus 5 moles of H2O. It gives twice NaCl plus 4 BOH thrice. And this is nothing but orthoboric acid. So this boron compounds, or say it is also prepared from boron compounds, which is halides and or hydrides. When we hydrolysis in presence of water or acid, at that time it gives orthoboric acid. This is a preparation. So remember it. It is a very easy. Layer structure in which planar BO3 units are joined by hydrogen bonds. So just you see this is a structure. Here just you see B O, here O, and here we can say that O joined with hydrogen. So here BO, here BOH, here BOOH. Okay, so this is a BOH. This type of structure is there, and that's why here BOH, BOH, BOH. One. This is another BOH, BOH, BOH. This is another BOH, BOH, BOH. You have to draw 4, we can say that particular compound of boron, and then you have to join with that hydrogen, because this oxygen donated towards the hydrogen, and that's why a hydrogen bond is formed. And this is nothing but hydrogen bond. This is considered as dotted line is there. It is considered as hydrogen bond. Okay, so this is the structure of planar BO3 units. Okay, layer structure. This is called layer structure. Okay, this boric acid is a weak monobasic acid. Remember, it is a weak monobasic acid. Monobasic acid. It is not a protonic acid. This hydrogen is not just liberated, but acts as a Lewis acids by accepting electrons from a hydroxyl ion. From OH minus is there, and that's why hydroxyl ion they accept electrons. And due to that, here BOH thrice plus 2H2O, it gives BOOH 4 minus. So you see HOH is nothing but H2O. 2 moles of H2O is nothing but, you have to write here, 2 moles of water molecules. It gives H3O plus and here OH minus. So here BOOH thrice, and plus OH minus, it gives BOH 4 minus, and this H3O plus is here. So according to that, you will remember this reaction. This is also very, very important. When boric acid, when we heat, it is converted into metaboric acid. Suppose here some metal is there, suppose sodium is there, it is known as sodium metaboric, but this is known as hydrogen is there. That's why it is considered as metaboric acid. And if this metaboric acid once again we heat, it is converted to boric oxide or boric anhydride. So this is we can say that all about here orthoboric acid. Now structure is very, very simple. Just you see, this is a BOH, this is a BO, and here H is there. This is once again B, and once again here H. Just you see, don't be confused that here. Just you see BOH, here also BOH, and here also BOH. This oxygen and hydrogen, they are bonded, and due to that it is considered as hydrogen bond. Okay, and this is we can say that BOH, 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 and here dot. Dot indicate what? Another atom is also present. So according to that, it is a layer structure. So this is known as hydrogen bond, and this HBO2 is known as metaboric acid. So here it is very important. It is a not a protonic acid. They are not donated protons because it is joined with oxygen and then joined with boron. And boron is electron acceptor. Oxygen is electron donor, and that's why we can say that this type of Lewis acid by accepting electrons from a hydroxyl ion. Hydroxyl ion is nothing but OH minus ion. This is nothing but OH minus ion. So write it completely according to your NCERT textbook. So lecture number 4 now here we complete. Okay. And our next topic is from this some important compounds of boron is diboron that we learn in a lecture number 5. So complete it, write it from your textbook. Just to balance this reaction, this balancing of reaction is required. Suppose you have to remember that Na2B4O7 is there, it is reacts with hydrochloric acid and reacts with water molecule. And in chapter number 1 you already learned balancing of reaction. So here 5 moles of H2 is required. So see, all the atoms must be balanced from both sides, and that's why here Na2 is there, Na2 is there, B4, so B4 is also there. Here chloric, okay, hydrogen is 2, okay, 5 2s are 10, 10 plus 2 12. So here 12 is there, oxygen is also 12. So this type of balancing is required. Okay, so write it correctly. Boron compounds hydrolyze water acid, it gives orthoboric acid. It is also very simple. It is a sparingly soluble in water. You learn this one because that concentration is less than 10⁻⁻² molar. Okay, and that's why it is a weak acid, and that's why weak acid is there, or due to that weak acid is highly soluble in a hot water. When you heat it at that time, it is a soluble in a water. Okay, so write it completely. Draw this structure is very important, and remember these two reactions which is asked in competitive exam, because this term and this term are not given, and just they ask what is the product. Okay, and they give option A, B, C, D, and that's why here just you see, if you learn in NCERT textbook in a very well manner, then there is no requirement of any reference book, but certain terms are also required for extra knowledge, and that's why you have to read another reference book, and in NCERT textbook whatever the sentence are written, just you clear it. And you remember boric acid is a weak monobasic acid. Monobasic acid. Remember this. So this is all about some important compounds of boron with respect here 11.3.2 orthoboric acid. Take a screenshot.